We had a very funny encounter with these neighbors who live over here. So, do you guys see all of these lilac bushes? So they appear to be on our lawn. Get ready because this is a good story. Good morning. We have got an Oli sitting by a heater. For those of you who are Patreons, you will know that heaters are Oli's favorite spot. Where they're nice and warm. Oli! He's so funny. My grandma offered for us to keep him. She will be moving into a nursing home soon, and she's not allowed to take any animals with her. And so we spoke it over with the vet, and even though it is very, very difficult to travel with a pet right now, we have our final appointment for Oli this Monday. And we are crossing everything that the USDA approves him traveling with us. But so far, so good. All of our paintings are down, just the nails are still up. Side tables are gone. But I have all of my fun projects here to chat with you guys about. Good morning. I hope all of you are doing well. Our house is buzzing. We've all just woken up and I'm having my first cup of coffee. Robert is sitting at the table. Robert's my husband. He is sitting at the table relaxing with his first cup of coffee, I'm guessing. And the girls are joining him at the table playing with some Playmobil. So I can hear their little chatter, and you might too, while they play and wait for their Brötchen to heat up in the oven. It is supposed to be a very, very gray day today, which will work out pretty all right because I will be moving my sister into her new apartment. Amy found an apartment in an amazing location. It's really, really great. She loves to ride her bike and be outside. So the place where her apartment is really busy. It's very busy. But it's also just great for exploring and riding her bike around. So I think that she'll really enjoy the location of her flat. So, oh, the finch are twitter-pating outside right now. So sweet. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. I think the high for today in Celsius might be 13. I think it's 56 Fahrenheit. And the high where we are moving, temperature-wise, I think it's 21 today, which might be, I don't know, 68, 70 degrees. So the weather is a bit warmer than where we are. And it will be interesting to get readjusted to not having air conditioning. I don't think we'll have a problem readjusting. But it will just be an interesting feeling to sleep very comfortably in the summer to possibly being very warm at night. I really cannot believe that 2 weeks have passed since I last filmed a video podcast. Time, goodness gracious, time just flies by. You guys have been so wonderful in the closing of a Homespun house. A Homespun house will be closing shop Monday, April 27th. The shop will be completely closed and we will be reopening as soon as we are situated in our new home and cozy in Germany. We would be so happy if we could open sometime this summer, but I guess we will just have to see where life takes us and how that process comes to be. In the meantime, I have a lot of knitting that I've been working on, crochet that I've been working on, a lot of woolly, yarny things that have been keeping me busy. I've really been enjoying knitting so much. I am currently loving knitting on the Habitation Throw, which is a knitted pattern by Helen Stewart, who has the Curious Handmade audio podcast. She every year designs a collection of knitting patterns called Knit Vent, and I'm pretty sure that this was in her Knit Vent. So I run a program on Patreon where we do daily vlogs, and every 3 months for one of the select tier, you get 3 minis. And so I decided that I would set aside all of my Patreon minis and make a large magic cake. I don't know if you remember the size of my magic cake last episode 2 weeks ago, but this is less than half the size now. I don't know if it's less than half the size, let's not exaggerate. This is definitely less than half the size of my original humongous jumbo cake that I made. I think there are 13 colors left for me to knit. So I'm more than halfway done with this blanket. Originally, I had thought to myself that I really, really wanted this piece to work on while I was in Germany. So I was going to save it. And then I thought to myself, why? Save it for what? I'm really enjoying knitting this, as I said. So why would I save enjoyment for later? I thought about it for maybe a second. There wasn't much thought. And I thought, why? Exactly. Why save enjoyment for later? If I'm enjoying it now, I really want to work on this piece. If when I finish this, I think to myself, I really want to be working on another habitation throw. Well, I have a lot of minis, and I am constantly dyeing more Patreon minis. As I said, every month there are 3 new Patreon minis. So I can always grab minis from my shop or minis from my stash and use those for a new habitation throw. It's not like I'm short on minis. So as I said, I have been chugging away on this, and this is all using a Homespun house yarn from all of our Patreon minis. I want to mention one piece of sad news that I have to announce, and I have been saying that beginning May, if you subscribe to the May Patreon and you live outside of America, you are eligible, you will receive 3 mini skeins if you pay for that tier. We are unfortunately not able to do that. I do know, however, for 100% that come June, because we will already be in Germany, we will have already opened up a business in Germany. Now that doesn't mean that we'll have yarn for sale, but we will still establish a business. Then I will be legally able to sell and send out those minis in Germany. However, because we will still be in America on May 1st, I am not able to send those minis out to people who are not in America. I hope that doesn't sound way too confusing. Also, starting in May, I will be selling advent calendars. You guys have had so many questions regarding advent calendars. I know a lot of people are selling theirs already. I'm going to wait until we are living in Germany to list those for sale, and there will be some options. I am so excited for the option ideas that I have this year. There will probably be 2 or 3 different options. I have 3 ideas, but advents are a lot of work. 1 advent is a lot of work. So to dye 3 separate advents all on my own will be a hefty task. But I love it. I love doing advents. They're one of my favorite things, and I can't wait to send them out. It will be, I'm very excited. So come May, those will be in my shop. I'm not even sure how many stripes I have on here off the top of my head, but we have Fishbowl, Early Riser, Whale Belly, Stardust, Matcha, Birthday Cake, Comfort, Jubilation, Juniper, Nurture, City Lights, A lot of these colors that I'm saying are colors that will never ever be in the shop again. And that's how I've been dyeing the Patreons for this summer, is they're all pretty much discontinued colorways. So that's really fun. Juniper, Nurture, City Lights, like I said, Purple People Eater, Broken Glass, Double Dare, Placebo. The red one is Polly, which is actually named after a Nirvana song. Polly. We have Mermaid of the Black Lake, Pumpkin Juice, and then this is actually a one-of-a-kind color right here. Just a really fun, creamy color with different green speckles. And then I think after that, I have another Christmas color. I have Holly Jolly Christmas. And I kind of desperately want to just like look and be like, oh, what's in there and what's inside of that one? But I don't think that's a good idea. I think I need to wait and be surprised, but it's hard. It is difficult not to look at it. So at Polly is where I started my decreases. So you can see it starts to, it's pretty difficult to see, let's be honest. But yeah, it's a pretty large blanket. And it's very interesting to me the way that I laid out these colors, because at this section, you have this very, very bright spring-like section. And then as you get onto here, it gets a little bit darker. And I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I can remember once I got to this section, I thought it was too dark. But as I go even further, I'm getting darker. So it will be fun to see exactly how I colored this, because kind of looks to me like spring and summer, and then here we're getting into fall, and now am I going to get to some winter colors, and then will it start all over again with the seasons? But that's what it reminding me of. So this is how much I knit since I last filmed. I have this sweet little rock pet with the snail on it from Simply Serving. And I've knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 colors on it. And then I have this really sweet little ghosty in a towel with a rubber ducky. I love this charm. I was talking to Robert the other day and showing it to him, and I said, this charm must have taken some time. Adding the arms, painting the face, the texture to the towel, the duck with its little beak. I'm sure you can't really see it because my camera doesn't really focus on progress keepers. It doesn't seem to like to do that. So, but I really love that one. It reminds me of my girls. So I put it on there. Very, very cute. So yes, I am enjoying this. This is my absolute favorite project right now. And I have 2 other blankets that I'm knitting. I have the Cozy Memories blanket, which has been on my needles for years and years and years. I think it's been on my needles for 8 years. And then I have my Granny Stripe blanket, which I still enjoy. Cozy Memories, I have zero desire to knit that. Maybe that's going to be something that I have to square off and keep as it is. That blanket though, it's so hard to finish because I keep thinking to myself, maybe there will be a time when I want to knit on it, and you can always add to it if you want. But I don't think there will be. I think there will always be a new blanket that I could always knit on or always start, like this one. I'm really, really enjoying this. So that goes to say that when we open up our boxes when we're in Germany, maybe one winter eve or autumn eve, I will do an I-cord edge on that. Danny of Little Bobbins, who I've really, really, really been enjoying watching her previous episodes of Little Bobbins Knits. She did an I-cord bind off on her Cozy Memories blanket, and I just think it finished it perfectly. This has, it's not an I-cord bind off, it's a mock I-cord edging, but it adds a really nice edge to the blanket. I enjoy it. I think that's what I'll do with my Cozy Memories blanket, and then we can use it. We still use the Cozy Memories blanket. It has just kind of random strings hanging off of it, but it still is on my mind as a piece that needs to be finished. So it still takes up that space of a project that's on the needles that is just taking up space in that creative space. So it would be really nice to take it out of that space, have it finished, and feel good about it being done and using it and having it be a finished project. I don't know why, but that seems kind of liberating to say that granny stripe blanket is going to be done. I feel like if it wasn't already packed away, I kind of have a desire to finish it, but that's impossible right now. Speaking of finished objects, I do have a project that you guys haven't seen at all. Ruby's favorite colors are pink, blue, and purple. And we had been looking at patterns. Usually for the girl's birthday, I make them, it tends to be a sweater or a cardigan or something like that. And we had been looking at patterns on Ravelry, Ruby and I, and she couldn't really find anything that interested her, that she liked. And then we came across a crochet pattern. I don't crochet. I don't know any crochet terms. Yes, I am making a granny stripe blanket, but that is one stitch. I don't even know what it's called. Single crochet, maybe? That's my guess. Double crochet? I don't know. So I just do that movement when I'm making my blanket, and that's fine. So this pattern has a bit of different crochet techniques. And it was definitely, in the beginning, not the most relaxing thing to crochet. I had to consistently count. I could not be interrupted. Amy, you will remember. And yeah, but it came to be a piece that near the end, I would say the sleeves, I knit the entire body, and then I crocheted the entire body. And then once I got to the sleeves, I got a feel for how it needed to be done. So this is called the It's Shawl Good. I don't remember who it's by. She has sizes from baby to adult. And I crocheted the size for Ruby out of our merino cashmere nylon DK. And it's really, really difficult to show you what it looks like just by raising it up. So it is it's kind of like a poncho style cardigan. So you wrap it around your body. This is the back of it. Oh, so that's why, I was going to talk to you about the colors. So those are Ruby's favorite colors. So after we found the pattern, the purple, pink, and blue. After we found the pattern, I had Ruby look around my shop. This is when my shop was a lot more full. There isn't a lot in the shop, but there are some goodies. There are a bit of mini skeins, and there are a couple fun fade kits in the shop, if you're interested. But I had Ruby walk through my shop, look at everything that she liked, and she chose Fishbowl, Double Dare, and Purple People Eater, which are 3 tonals. And that really surprised me. I know that those are her 3 favorite colors, but I also have so many different colorful speckled yarns that the fact that she chose those 3 tonals really surprised me. So I thought that I would make her up a custom colorway and using just those 3 kind of colors for it. So I came up with this colorway. It's one of a kind. It's not something that I've ever dyed for the shop before. But so this is how It's Shawl Good looks. I think that's such a hilarious name. So it goes over her shoulders, and then it has sleeves. So her arms can go in here, and it's so light. This probably used 120 grams for her, including the fringe. So it's fringed all around. It's V-shaped. And I think it will be perfect for the spring and summer because it is so light. It's just something she can lightly put over her shoulders in the evening. It's something she can wear after we've been swimming because we'll be spending a lot of time. So when we move to Germany, we will be living at Robert's parents' house for a short while until we move into our flat. We're not moving into a home, we'll be moving into a flat. And they live like maybe a 45-minute bike ride, 10-minute drive to their holiday home. And their holiday home is on a lake. And it's a pretty private lake. There are often times when we are the only people there, which is really great. So I think I called this my Sunday sweater. This is actually the September sweater. Very, very, very different pattern. You will also see that I have a good bit of progress on this too. So I'm knitting this out of our rose gold colorway. This is a pattern by Petite Knits and it uses 3 strands of mohair silk. I am not using that. I'm using a worsted weight skein of mohair, silk, alpaca, and wool. I can't remember. Something like that. I'm ready to join now. So I have the back finished, I have the front finished, and this is a piece that I almost don't even want to talk about because I have made a mistake and I'm very, very frustrated about this mistake. So I knit the back piece and then I attached here at like the back of the shoulder and started knitting the front piece. I was supposed to attach the front piece to the right side of the back piece. And I attached it with the back side facing up. So now as I'm about to join, I have the wrong side exposed with the front side. And that would mean that I would literally have to rip out everything up to here, like down. And this yarn is not easy to rip out at all. I can't imagine if I had used 3 strands. I think I would be over it. So I have had this set down for probably a week. I haven't worked on it, which is a huge pity because I was enjoying working on this more than the habitation throw. I was working on it consistently. I was working on it every day. I was really, really enjoying it because it is such an easy, mindless knit. And especially where I would be now, where I would be just knitting brioche in the round. That's it. I should be connecting my body now and knitting in the round for quite a few centimeters. So I'm so bummed. I have to pick it up and look at it again because this is one of my projects that I had planned on working on while we're in Germany. However, I've also come to realize that mohair, alpaca, no air conditioning is going to be really, really not fun. So I'm wondering if I should just pack this up in one of our boxes that is being shipped up to Germany, because will this even be something that I will enjoy working on in the summer? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think I have to be working on lightweight projects which contain 0 alpaca or mohair. When we lived in America, I had no problem. I had no problem knitting on anything warm because if I wanted to knit in the afternoon, in the morning, in the evening, I could sit inside and knit with a mohair project and have no problem whatsoever. But once I'm outside, I absolutely can't do that. And I know that, from living in Germany for 9 years, there's no way you can knit with that while you're inside. It's almost hotter inside than it is outside. So I'm kind of talking myself again into probably packing this away and picking it up in the fall to work on. It would also be really nice to have finished in the fall, but I need to think about this for a couple more days. And the funny thing is, if I really, really spent a lot of time knitting on that. I probably could have it finished before we left. And then I would have my habitation throw to work on and be excited for. I need to think about it. Okay, so the next thing that I'm working on, oh, that's not what I wanted to grab. I don't remember if I showed this to you. This is the Elta hat by Emily Clausen. I did. I remember I showed it to you because all that I had was the top of the hat. So a lot of hats have you finish them by drawing the stitches together in a circle, pulling it through, and then weaving in your ends. I don't think I've ever spoken about this before, but in the last year or two, I think probably 2 years, I have been Kitchenering the top of my hats. And I am so much happier with the way that that looks. I think it closes it up really, really nicely. And you don't have that, especially if you're knitting with a thicker yarn, you don't have that hole that can grow. So I Kitchenered it together, and I am so happy with the way that it turned out. So Elodie has worn this. She's really, really enjoyed it. I knit this out of our old soft sock base, which is a lot finer than the new soft sock base that we have and that we'll be carrying in Germany. So this hat turned out smaller than the hat that I knit out of our hopscotch colorway. That was the really vibrant kind of pinkish purple hat that I knit before this one. So that one fits me great. This one fits me, but it's a little bit tight. So this one maybe will be Elodie's to wear. She's been enjoying wearing it, and it's just not as soft. I'm so happy that I've changed my soft sock base. I can't say that enough. I'm so, so, so happy. This is almost cotton linen feeling when it's doubled and knit on a tighter gauge. I know it's different when you knit it on a very loose gauge, but it's okay. I don't think that the way it feels is wonderful. Oh, what I'm meaning to show you, you can see my mind is kind of everywhere. The next Elta hat that I'm knitting is the same exact one that you saw me knit and finish some weeks ago. That one is for my Grandma Sue. She loves this shade of green and earthy colors. So I originally knit that for my sister. She chose both of the colors, Matcha, Mohair Silk, and Digital Bath in Merino Cashmere Nylon. So Amy chose these colors, and I knit the largest Elta hat, and I had been wearing it and I realized it's too big. So I thought that I would knit the smallest size for my sister. I finished the ribbing, and now I'm about to start knitting that beautiful textured pattern here. I'll probably work on this evening, I think. Amy will spend one more evening at our home tonight, and I'll probably work on this while we sit together and knit. That will be fun. That has to be finished before we leave. Okay, so the final thing that I'm working on is something else out of Matcha, and this is our plump merino base. And I am knitting another pair of tonal socks. I have my poppy socks on right now and my dyeing shoes, even though I'm not dyeing anymore. I just don't know where my house shoes are, and I have to have house shoes on. I do not like walking around with just socks on. I don't enjoy that. I have to have a house shoe. So I knit this, I'm knitting this out of 2.5 millimeter needles. I cast on 56 stitches, and I think I knit 16 rounds of knit one, purl one. Then I knit my cuff for 16 centimeters, and then I did a heel flap and gusset. Oh, okay, so I used double point needles for the cuff, and then I knit the leg with the 9-inch circulars. I've really, really been enjoying these. I thought that I would pick them up again. yeah, I am really enjoying them. They're working really nice. They're very, very easy to use and work on. And I'm trying to be working on projects that will be very easy to use while we're in Germany. Easy in the summer, easy things that I can do when people are around, because it will be our family and Robert's family. And Robert's aunt lives right next door, so I know we'll be seeing them. And I just want things where I can really engage with other people and not have to be counting or have to be looking at a pattern. So that's where I think things like plain stockinette socks and something like the habitation throw or a simple shawl. So anyway, these are my matcha socks. I've been enjoying these. These will not be finished before I leave. That I know. Just because I've been enjoying the habitation throw, and I need to rethink what I'm going to do with my September sweater. I'm about to go on a little hunt around the house and look for some cozy pieces for Amy's flat. I'll probably take some of our pillows, some cozy little rugs, maybe look and see if there's anything we can use to organize. I hope that I'm able to chat with you guys once more before we leave to Germany. I know that it's going to be very, very busy though this next week. We just have 2 more weekends and then we leave. Time is flying. I'll see you all soon.